If you are looking for new retrospective techniques to conduct your next retro with your agile teams, you have landed on the right video. Hello friends, my name is Shashank. I am a Scrum Master from India and welcome to Career Talk. We Scrum Masters across the globe are trying to share our experiences, knowledge and contribute to our agile community. I was in a hunt for new retrospective techniques to keep my agile teams engaged and excited to be part of the recurring sprint retrospective, sprint after sprint. In this video, I would like to do a quick recap on the commonly used retrospective techniques, which we all have been using, and also introduce you to some of the new trending retrospective techniques that I came across during my search. Regardless of how good your Scrum team is, there is always room for improvement. A good Scrum team will always focus on continuous improvement. Opportunities like the team should set a goal and have a scheduled period of the plan at the end of each sprint. Therefore, it reflects on how they're going to find the ways to improve. This will be happening during the sprint retrospective. Agile teams are like any other team in that, just like the individuals within them, they evolve over time. Tuckman's stages of team development are often used to describe the distinct phases nearly all teams go through. The stages are forming, storming, norming, and performing. His theory says that these phases are all necessary and inevitable for the teams to grow, face up the challenges, tackle problems, find solutions, plan work, and deliver results. We will see what are the different techniques we can use at different stages of agile teams. The possible challenges, let us go through possible challenges with the new teams. They are teams, team members may not know each other and might need some time to build trust. The team doesn't have established practices and needs some time to get these set up. Teams might be nervous and uncertain about their role and where they fit in the new team. Let's set some ground rules so that the teams get acquainted with each other, where everyone gets an opportunity to speak without being interrupted. This is a positive ceremony. Don't make it personal and don't take it personally. Also, set boundaries of discussion. The commonly used retrospective techniques which we have been using are sailboat, starfish, start, stop, continue, 4L technique, mad, sad, and glad. So, based on the different stages of teams, we can use different retrospective techniques that we have been using so far. So, sailboat can be used for a performing or an experienced team. Likewise, is the starfish. And start, stop, continue can be used for forming or new teams. 4L technique can be used for both new and experienced teams. Mad, sad, glad is it can be used for a forming or a new team. Let us see one by one in short about these techniques that we have been using. Sailboat is one of the commonly used retrospective technique. We Scrum Masters have demonstrated this technique in Career Talk as to how we can conduct a retro with your agile teams. If you have not got a chance to see that video, please find the link to the description below. The Starfish retrospective technique is developed by Patrick Koa, who help teams reflect on varying angles of actions and activities, rather than simply the traditional what went well or what did not go well. It helps the team members understand how each person perceives the values of such perspectives. So let us take a quick look at the starfish technique of the various segments that we have. That is more of. Let us start with more of. These might be practices or technologies or activities that team members think that should be more of it or not currently being taken full advantage of. Start doing is something like a new idea that you have been always working on and you want to bring it to the table. Keep doing are things that keeps the team energized and engaged and adding more value to the team, and you can recognize the value out of it. Stop doing is something that is actually slowing down the team, or it is actually creating a drag in the team or getting even worse, right? So less of, what is less of? These are practices that are already being done but might need refining because it's not currently helpful or productive in the current situation. Let us go to the next technique, that is start, stop, continue technique. This is a very commonly used technique among the agile teams which are in forming stage. So I hope you all know about the start, stop, and continue. Let's go to the next technique. That is the 4Ls retrospective. It is a brainstorming technique commonly used by project teams to review their progress and identify ways to improve moving forward. Please find the link to this video in the description below where we explain with live examples. Let's go to the next technique, that is mad, sad, and glad. So the mad, sad, and glad retro calls for each team member to consider what events during the previous sprint made them feel bad, what made them feel sad, and what elements or events made them happy or glad. So I hope you all are acquainted with all these techniques. Now, let us go to the exciting part of this presentation that we have. That is nothing but the new trending retrospective techniques. Yes, guys. So we have 9 new trending retrospective techniques that probably you might have already come across them or they are something new to you guys. So I would just like to bring them to your notice. So here it goes, guys. So it's hiking retrospective, dream team retrospective, energy levels retrospective, hopes and fears retrospective, escape room retrospective, superhero retrospective, baking Danish retrospective, winning streak retrospective, and not the last but not the least, genie in a bottle retrospective. So let us go through each of these retrospective techniques in detail with examples so that we can make the best use of it for your next retros with your teams. All right, let's begin. So the hiking retrospective, new teams dealing with the change might be feeling a lot of uncertainty. Team members may struggle to understand their new role. They may also have left behind their peers on previous teams or their team leads, folks they relied upon to soothe their stress. The hiking retrospective helps you support your team by giving them a safe space to discuss what's going on and helping them build trust with one another. Here's what it looks like. Weather. How do you feel? How are you feeling? Here, the team members share how they are feeling anonymously. They can gain a sense that they need not alone. They're not alone in their uncertainty and voice challenging feedback. Right? They can get feedback with one another. Since they don't know one another, they might not have the trust needed to otherwise voice their concerns. For example, I'm worried that our team might not have all the right skills to be successful. Let us see supplies. What is supplies about? What do we have available? Here, the team members share what they can bring to the table, building some familiarity with each other. It also cues team members to look around and see tools and knowledge they have at their disposal, reminding them that even when faced with a difficult task, they're equipped to tackle it. For example, if anyone needs a hand with Ruby on Rails, I have a solid knowledge of that, says one of the teammates. Let's see what a mile marker is about. What are we looking forward to? Finally, this prompt focuses the team on the future and away from the worries they're feeling by reminding them that they are exciting times on the horizon. We can lift the team out of the possible dark cloud. For example, I'm excited about launching version 1 of this new app. It's going to be so cool if we get it right. Let's go to the next retrospective technique. It's Dream Team Retrospective. So teams that are new to Agile but know each other well should be focused on getting into an Agile rhythm quickly, at least if there's no big changes coming in their way. Team members may need to be educated on their underpinnings of the Agile, and folks used to work in different ways with other teams may need encouragement to try something new. To help your team find the Agile rhythm, ask team members to think about a team that works well. Ideally, this is a team they have been on, so they can speak precisely to what led to their team success, right? So if they cannot think of one, probably they could imagine a hypothetical or a fictional team aiming for a performing team, right? So here's what it looks like. Let us see the segments, what we have. The first segment is practices. What habits or processes help the team work well together? Team members can share what habits they have seen working well, prompting a discussion about whether the team want to bring those habits into their new team. For example, we could make sure our daily stand up is all about unblocking each other and trying to stick to that. In my old team, we moved away from reporting what we were doing towards unblocking each other. It is way more efficient. Let's look at values. What principles or values did the team exhibit? Encourage team members to think about what underpins how a great team works. Perhaps it's all about sharing work early, putting direct feedback even over politeness, or perhaps compassion even over direct feedback. High performing teams can be built on all kinds of values, and your team needs to determine which ones matter to them. If the team agrees that certain principles matter, adopt them for yourselves. If not, you can discuss your different perspectives and get to know each other better. For example, knowing what's going on is really important to me. For example, I prefer when my team works in open channel rather than DMs. Let us look at what is absence. What practices weren't present? What makes a team perform well is often as much about the practices they've chosen as the one they're refraining from. The team may agree that politics, gossiping, or insecurity should be avoided. Team members share particular anecdotes about how this worked on their teams, and promoting a discussion of how far we can follow that path as well. Right. So let's see an example how we can put that. Working work didn't change ad hoc. We picked what went to the sprint, assigned them, then focused on the delivery for the length of the sprint. That allowed us to focus. So that is about dream retrospective. So let's get into the next retrospective, that is energy level retrospective. For teams that are familiar with Agile but don't know each other, you probably want to help the team get to know each other and build rapport. To support this goal, you can try an energy level retrospective, which leads team members share what they love working on and what they're less keen on. Since team members don't know what other common ground they have, talking about the relationship to their work, preferences among different types of tasks, and their knowledge and expertise helps team members get to know each other in a low stress way. Let us look at these segments, that is, fully charged. What's exciting for you to work on? Team members can share what energized them in the first few sprints with the team, or give examples of what they'd like to bring to be working on. Right. So this helps team members learn what kind of work they all wanted to be doing. For example, doing code reviews is weirdly relaxing for me. I'm happy to take more of that work on. Low energy. What drains you to work on? Team members can speak to practices or trends happening within the team that need improvement, or share the kind of work they don't like. This gives the team the opportunity to change bad habits early and gives team members the opportunity to offer help to one another. Chances are the work that's draining one person would excite another. For example, working with the APIs just isn't my thing. It always takes longer than I think it will. Let us look at what is sprint energy. How do you feel about your current work? This prompt gives the new team an opportunity to reflect on how they're feeling in these early days. While the team might not be dealing with a big challenge, Scrum Masters and team leads can gauge how the transition is going and adjust course. For example, I'm blazing through my tasks, but that new integration is really draining my energy. There's a lot to learn to get it right. So that's about energy level retrospective. I hope it's all getting interested, right, guys? So let's get into the next one. That is nothing but hopes and fears retrospective. These are basically for new agile teams that need a honest conversation at the beginning of the sprints. New teams are sometimes formed to address exciting new opportunities or tackle important problems. In those cases, the first task is to have an honest conversation about hopes and fears for the journey ahead. If the team is familiar with one another and familiar with Agile, they can probably handle an honest and direct conversation. The hopes and fears retrospective helps teams have that honest conversation upfront so you can talk about how to fulfill hopes and how to reduce fears. Hopes. What do you hope will happen with this team or project? First, the team can share their aspirations, what they want to happen. By getting hopes on the table, you can establish if everyone has the same goals for your shared work and resolve or clarify any differences between these to establish a clean team charter. For example, I hope this new onboarding experience will help users who are struggling to get started with our product. Yes. What are you afraid will happen with this team or project? Next, the team can share their concerns, what they want to avoid. Like in a pre-mortem, getting these worries out on the table lets you make plans to steer clear of them. Multiple people may voice the same worry, in which case they can feel a sense of fellowship with one another and collective ownership for addressing the fears. For example, I'm scared that bugs might come in from the support, and it will sabotage us sprint work. Let's go to the next retrospective. That is escape room retrospective. Experienced team members having strong opinions about what's good and what's bad, we can benefit from all that knowledge while having fun by refraining a working and stuck retrospective. In an escape room theme, let us look at each segment. How does it look like? Working. What's helping us solve the puzzle? Team members share their perspective on what they want to bring to the team that has been successful elsewhere. For example, testing as we develop will save us a lot of time later on and helps us ship cleaner code. Stuck. What's happening? What's keeping us locked up? Team members can give examples of cultural norms, habits, or beliefs that might hold the team on organization back. In my experience at this company, we never implement data tracking early enough in development. So we end up flying blind. Let's be more proactive. So the escape room retrospective puts a puzzle themed spin on the classic working and stuck format. Let's get into the next retrospective technique. That is nothing but the superhero retrospective. All right. So even if team members have some casual familiarity with one another from the past, Their relationship change when they become teammates. The superhero retrospective helps team members learn how others perceive their roles and how they fit into the team. Superpower. What are your strongest skills? Teammates can share what they feel confident about and can provide to the team. As a team lead, this also gives you an opportunity to see if there's a skill set or expertise that's missing from the team. I'm pretty good when it comes to database work. That could be one of the statement. For sidekicks and gadgets, what people or tools support you most? Teammates can express appreciation for one another or for others' competencies. They can also name tools or mention hacks they use to make work better. This will build trust and camaraderie among new team members. I like using video to share in progress work and love it when my team members share GIFs and video so I can see what they're working at. Nemesis. What makes your role more difficult? Like in a pre-mortem, this gives you the opportunity to preempt issues that may arise, like team members being assigned tasks that particularly don't like or not implementing a process that's important to someone. Let us see what is the example for Nemesis. I nearly struggle with people adding tasks to my board without letting me know first. Just send me a quick note so I know something's there and I have a chance to discuss on it. Let's go to role. Where do you fit into the team? Finally, team members can share more about who they want to be within the team. This tells you, as the lead, how they see themselves and what kinds of challenges or opportunities they might be interested in. I'm like a Spider Man right now. I have a diverse skill set, so I can hop between multiple different areas and work on bunch of different things. So I hope we have many Spider-Mans there in your team. All right. Let's look at what is the next retrospective, that is baking Danish retrospective. When a new but experienced agile team comes together, the best thing to do maybe to jump in right in. If there's no burning need to address on the team, then all that's left is to start and have fun. And what better way than with baked good? Get your butter and jam ready, guys, because the Making Danish retrospective is going to be fun and tasty. All right, let's see what is dropped. With what ingredients do you want to leave out? Team members can share behaviors from previous teams that they want to drop. This helps the team start off with a clean slate, leaving the past behind and embracing the future. For example, in my previous team members could ask for a PR review at any point, and we expected 24-hour turnaround. That made it hard to plan my work. I'd like to avoid that. Add. What do you want more of? Coworkers can share anecdotes of experience they wanted to see more of, habits they want to build, or goals they're looking forward to achieve. This prompts this prompt helps the team build a team that they feel proud of. For example, I'd love to do more pair work figuring out how we will build tricky features. It gives everyone confidence that we're on the right track. Keep what's just right. This prompt encourages gratitude. The team members can reflect on what is working well so you don't accidentally throw out something that's valuable. For example, open communication in public channels really helps me understand what everyone's working on. Improve. What ingredients should be of higher quality? Here, team members can speak to their values, what they care about, and want to maintain well. For example, it's important that we don't lose track of our technical debt. I feel like we need to keep the whole product high quality, not just focus on shipping new features. That's about baking Danish. Doesn't it look delicious? All right, let's get to the next one. The next one is winning streak retrospective. The goal of this technique is to identify where the strengths of your team lie and use those to drive challenge and change improvement during the next sprint. The strength based retrospective includes two steps: discovering strengths, defining the actions that use those strengths. First, ask your teams to think about success that they had during the last sprint, what they were able to accomplish above and beyond the team's team's expectations that produced benefits from the team, company, and customers. Then ask themselves a series of questions. What are we proud of? What teamwork practices helped us reach our goal? How can we maintain or replicate our success in future? And in the end, give a kudos to your team, give a huge shout out to someone who did a great work. This will encourage your team members and keep them going. Coming to the last but not the least, genie in a bottle retrospective technique. So imagine you're walking on a beach and you find a bottle, and it's not a regular bottle, it's a special one. You open the bottle and a genie appears. He will give every team member three wishes: one for themselves, one for the team, and one for the world. Besides, there's only one rule: they cannot wish for more wishes. All right. So give your team member for 10 to 15 minutes to think about their three wishes. Let them write down their wishes silently on the notes. After that, ask the team members to put their wishes on the flip chat with 1 to 2 sentences about it. For example, it could be anything. If it's for yourself, it could be anything: house or any milestones, any goals, that anything materialistic or non-materialistic goals that they have in their lives. And when it comes to teams, regarding upskilling, the cross-functionally trained, suppose like C Sharp, AWS API, some new language they would like to learn, or some certifications that would really help their team to perform better. And for the people in the world, right now we are all stuck in the pandemic situation where we are all sitting ducks. We could not go out, work out, stay fit. So probably we can just, wish for non-obese world. That seems like fun, right? All right. So let everybody present their wishes. Optionally, you can then dot vote on what's the best and most appreciated wishes. All right. So that is the end of the retrospective techniques that we have, that I got a chance to find, and I got an opportunity to share with you guys. And thank you so much for watching this video. Please write down in the comments what retrospective technique has excited you the most. And if you like the video, please encourage our efforts by hitting the like button and share your feedback in the comments. Please subscribe to the channel for latest videos updated every week, and do share this knowledge with your Scrummies and Agile enthusiasts, because sharing is caring. Thank you all. Signing off, your Shashank. Thank you guys.